How's it going, everyone? It's your man Zach908, aka the Dig Dug himself. And ladies and gents, first let's say this off the top of the roof. This is my favorite monster in all of Monster Hunter. Okay, the Uragaan. It's not gonna be a biased commentary. I intended to not be biased. I wanted to be like really biased. But I was like, you know what? No, let's just give the people the information and just move on. Let's keep it professional. So anyway, here we go. The Uragaan debuted in Monster Hunter Tri, which incidentally is my favorite Monster Hunter game, simply because it actually evolved the series a bit and added another way in which to fight monsters, which was underwater. Now, a lot of people hated the whole underwater concept, so it was shelved since then. But one thing that was not shelved was Uragaan. He's actually made an appearance in every game since his inception, except one. Or two, I guess, 4 and 4 Ultimate. But other than that, he's been here. You know, he's been here, he's been around. A lot of people hate him, though. A lot of people hate him, which leads me to believe, why is he even in the game if people hate him? People hated the water, but, you know, water's gone. That's gone. But people hate this monster, but he's still here. I mean, it's not like he's annoying. He's just, people don't like him, but whatever. Anyway, so Uragaan works like this. He is in the volcano. So he's a hot baby monster kind of guy. So a lot of his attacks and everything is going to not necessarily be centered around fire, but he has a couple of fire-based attacks. But let's get the obvious thing out the way. His roll. He has the ability to curl himself up into a ball and roll around the area in means of attacks, his means of transportation, things like that. So I will say that his roll is probably one of his strongest attacks. So you don't necessarily want to get hit with it, especially when he's in rage. You're going to lose anywhere between 30 to 50% of your health just off the top. I mean, it hurts that much. On top of another attack that actually hurts a lot is his chin. When he does his proper chin slam where he charges it up, he'll go and then slam it down. That attack hurts a lot. On top of the fact that it hurts a lot, it has a tremor effect to it as well. So it is actually going to cause a tremor if you're nearby. Now, the hitbox for this tremor has actually been increased in the later games, but initially it wasn't really that large. But regardless, outside of the chin and the roll, he has a couple of other attacks that aren't really too notable. I mean, he can whip his tail around, not in the same fashion as other monsters do their tail whip where they spin twice. He just kind of does one whip very slowly. He also has the ability to shoot out pressurized gases from his stomach in either the form of like a gas, for like a flammable gas, I should say, and then one where he can actually put you to sleep. Now, when he does put you to sleep, he's almost always going to roll you afterwards. So you better pray that you're actually not like half damage or half health when he does it, because you're going to catch that roll, which could very well end you. But if it doesn't, then, you know, there you go, you're good to go. But outside of those attacks, he doesn't really have a whole lot going for him in his repertoire. He does have this last one here. It's another chin-based attack where he'll slam the ground about 5 to 6 times, I believe, and then afterwards he'll roar. Now, the thing is, the cool bit about this, if you block one of these attacks, like the initial chin slam, like let's say you block the first chin slam, you're good to go for the rest of that. Like no other chin slams will affect you. It's kind of weird like that. It has a special property where it's like a multi-hitting thing, same as with the gas. If you block a gas with like guard up, because you need guard up to block the gas. If you block the gas, or if you have let's say adept or valor, and you valor through the gas, or you adept through the gas is still there, but it's not going to hurt you anymore, because it only can hit once. It can only hit once, even though it's a multi-hit attack. If that makes any sense. So if you block it once, you're good to go. Now, one thing I will tell you about the Uragaan, outside of his obvious attacks and everything, he's a very healthy monster. He has quite a bit of health. This video actually lasted a lot longer than I expected to really go for. So much so that I actually cut the whole first part off the video. That's why it started with just a cutscene off the top, which I think I might actually do, because I've been meaning to cut more time out of these videos to keep it more snack bitey. You know what I mean? Just get the information and get out. But anyway, let's get to the main stuff of the video. So now, his weak spots, okay? His weak spots are his chin. Now, if you can break his chin, let's say you have like a hammer, or you have a weapon that has Mind's Eye abilities, like the Switch Axe and Sword mode, or you just have Mind's Eye because your Uragaan gives you Mind's Eye. You can break the chin. Once broken, the chin itself becomes a weak spot. If you're not gonna do that, I suggest you hit him in the stomach, like up underneath him. It's actually a very soft spot too. The majority of his body is relatively armored, but the stomach is very soft. He has a very soft tummy, so to speak. But if you're gonna hit any of these things, you can kind of go in here and hit him with basically anything. You know, he's very weak to water, also dragon, and even ice. So at this point in time, you shouldn't really have any drag, and you might have a bit of ice here and there. But I should recommend you go in here with some water or some ice. Use some nibble snarf weapons if you have them. They're very nice. I decided to actually really use nothing but nibble snarf weapons when I actually grind him out, because I am grinding him a little bit. But you can also go in here with a little bit of ice. There's a couple of ice monsters who had really good ice weapons, like the Uragaan. Its ice element was actually very plentiful. So there you go. Nibble snarf, Uragaan, Ludroth. I think someone else out there with water, but you just kind of go in here with the water and you should be okay. But his armor, see, now the thing with Uragaan armor has never really been good. It's only ever been like okay, and it was only ever like pretty good okay in like Monster Hunter Tri. Ever since then, his armor's been really bad. But in this game, his armor is exceptionally bad. It gives you 2 skills off the top. It gives you 1 skill, bleeding, and then punishing draw. See, bleeding, that's a thing that we have to worry about when we fight Shogun. But here's the problem with bleeding: there's 3 monsters in the entire game who even give the whole the ailment, the affliction, if you will. That is Shogun Centaur. Well, there's more now, but there's Shogun Centaur, Deviant Shogun, Deviant Nargacuga, and what's his name? Steve. You know, Sergios, but that's it. So there's really no. It's almost a situation that's like guard up, where there's only a couple of monsters that actually have attacks that's unblockable. But punishing draw is a pretty decent attack. It actually gives you the ability to stun monsters with draw weapons, even if they themselves are not impact style weapons. Only on the draw though. It also gives you a small boost to your attack, which is kind of nice. But let's look at his weapons, since we're talking about punishing draw and whatnot. His weapons are pretty interesting. They've always had the same kind of characteristic. They've never really had high sharpness. They've always had plenty of attack, like loads of attack. Like when you first make them, they're probably gonna be some of the most highest attack based weapons that you have at the time. If not, they're close. End game, like very end game, they don't have the most attack, but they pretty much have it definitely where it counts. They're neck and neck. You know what I mean? You're not really gonna be too mad at like 10, maybe even 20 points of attack difference. But they have loads of attack, but they don't really have any sharpness. So if you're gonna be using bludgeoner weapons or bludgeoner style, armor and whatnot, Uragaan weapons should actually fare you pretty nicely. They don't necessarily have anything else going for them outside of they have high attack and low sharpness for your bludgeoner bit, but I guess other weapons who have the same exact properties but have things like higher affinity and whatnot would be more appropriate choices. But if in a pinch you don't have those, you can still use Uragaan or whatever. It's not that bad. But outside of that, that's pretty much all I can really tell you about the Uragaan stuff. I mean, yes, he's my favorite monster. I can actually talk about him for a long time, like delving in the lore and stuff like that, but that's not the whole point of these. I'm just trying to get you guys to go through here. Would I recommend you actually stay and fight him for long periods of time to grind something out? No. If anything, at best, you could probably make like 1 weapon if you're really about that. I made 1 weapon. I made his gun lance. You can actually upgrade it very easily. Like, you can upgrade it once for free, basically. His gun lance right now has 140 attack from me, and we actually go on to fight the Legiacris and beat him in like 6 minutes with it, because it just has so much attack. But anyway, that's been it. All I can really give you guys on the particular topic right here. This is my man Uragaan. Is my favorite monster. I respect him a lot, but for what it's worth, beat him and just keep moving. Honestly, you might have to grind him a little bit for his lava nuggets, which is the only way you can actually upgrade some weapons that you might have around sitting in your pockets. But in order to get the lava nuggets, I can't believe I'm actually telling you this so late, but in order to get the lava nuggets, you must actually knock him over and then mine his body. Like, you know when you hit a monster and they fall over on the side, make sure you have some pickaxes, beat him up, knock him over, and mine his body. Or you can just kill him and maybe carve one off his body, or maybe just get one in the box. But the way in which I recommend doing it, because it's more expedient, is to knock him over and then mine his body. So there you go. With that being said, everyone, it's been your boy. You all take care, have a wonderful day, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace.